Welcome to the Queer Confidence Podcast, the podcast to help you become your most confident queer self. I'm your host, he, she, they, Coach Alex Ray, and I haven't always been this confident. In fact, I used to be super insecure. And through this show, I want to share with you what's worked for me, my clients, and my guests so that you can become more confident. Hello there, my unicorns. Welcome back. Today, I have our most ever requested guest back on the podcast for you. Do you remember Corey Spade from the going from I'm Garbage to True Self-Love episode? That was amazing. And of course, several people have reached out to me to ask, when are you having Corey back? I was like, well, I've been wanting to have him back. And since we're doing this awesome series on where I'm bringing clients current and past in June to celebrate Pride Month, you're going to get to hear an update from Corey today. And he has done some amazing things. It's been 5 months at the time of us recording. We're recording at the very end of April. So it's been 5 months now since he and I last worked together, like our last appointment. And he has gone on to create outstanding results in his life. And that is something I really wanted to make sure I pointed out to you today, that when we work together on your confidence, I'm not the one that creates your results for you. I help you transform. I help you become the confident badass that's already inside of you. And you continue to go and do the most amazing things in your life. So without further ado, welcome back, Corey Spade. It's so great to have you, my friend.
Good to be back. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I was going to do the same thing I did last time and say, hello. I just didn't. I ditched it at the last second.
Well, I'm so glad you gave us a little opportunity to hear there for a moment. Oh my gosh, my friend, it's really good to have you back. And I'm really looking forward to just chatting with you today about what's been up in your life. So where do you want to dive in? I know when we talked, you've kind of got a new outlook on dating and work and money. Where do you want to dive in first?
We can start with work, because that was the biggest thing that has changed over the last few months. And not even huge changes, but it's gotten a lot better.
Awesome.
And I'm coming off of a vacation, so I'm relaxed and not high strung, even though I got a passive aggressive text this morning. It ain't gonna bother me.
I love it, which is so different than a year ago.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I would have been in bed crying all day. I don't want to go to work tomorrow. I'm going to get yelled at.
Yeah. Okay, so what's changed for you? So you know, bosses will be bosses. Still, they're passive aggressive and shit sometimes.
Yeah.
But what's been the biggest change for you?
My attitude there. I had a sit down with my boss. Both of us were very, very, very bad with conflict. So neither of us really say anything. He'll say stuff, but it's behind my back. And then I have to hear secondhand what's been going on. And that was kind of eating me up. And normally I wouldn't say anything. I just keep it all bottled up, which I did for a while. And then one night I just had it, and I sent my own passive aggressive text on how things needed to change and we needed to sit down. And we finally did when I went back to work that Monday, and he, brought the request book off, and we figured out when I could take my vacation time. He apologized. I could tell he was very sincere, and he did feel bad. And If I hadn't said anything, the behavior would continue. And
Mm.
I didn't like, and I told him, I hate not liking coming here. Like it's getting to
Yeah.
a point where I dread coming in here every day, and I don't want it to be like that because I love what I do. Um, and then, he agreed and we worked some things out. And it's just, I mean, I went on vacation the week after that, and then he's been off the past 3 days. I'm off today. So I get almost a 2-week vacation from him. So I guess we'll truly see how it goes when I get back tomorrow and we're both in the building together. But
Yes.
I made a promise to myself that I need to start standing up for myself more, not just at work,
Mm.
but in everyday life and everything that I do.
Yeah. I love what you pointed out that and took ownership of that he's really bad. He hates conflict, but you also do too.
Yeah.
And because both of you really don't like conflict, it really didn't work well. And so often we think that the other person has to change.
Right.
And
Oh, if they do better, then I'll feel better about being here. But I, for the longest time, I had that shitty attitude because like it was so bad. I didn't want to be there. And you could tell I didn't want to be there. Like
mhm,
it started showing up in my work, and that sucks.
yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah. I mean, I know I didn't have complaints or anything on any of the food that I did. But just like running specials and stuff, I would just phone it in. Like
Hmm.
I don't even care right now. I guess we'll do this again. You know,
Hmm.
wasn't didn't have the excitement and passion that I had before. But I just bought myself a bunch of new cookbooks, so time to get re-inspired and try something different.
I love to hear this. This is like a total 180.
Yes.
Amazing.
And a passive aggressive text did nothing to me today.
Yeah, like, can we just use that as like the ultimate measure of really having self-confidence and ownership too of yourself? Like you have your own back in a
Yeah.
way that you had never had before.
No, nobody did. Not
Right.
even me.
Right. And that's what we do. We're like, oh, well, hopefully everyone else has my back because I don't have my back. And then how much sense does that make when we get really disappointed when other people don't treat us great? We're like,
Right. Well, and I even thought like when I would hear from my coworkers that I get along with, they'd tell me what was being said behind my back. And at one point I'm like, I shouldn't be hearing this. It was said behind my back for a reason. Obviously, they didn't,
mm,
you know, and you telling me, thanks for telling me, but that like you just made me feel worse.
mm-hmm,
So now whenever they tell me anything, I'm just like, I mean, it hasn't happened yet, but from now on, when anything like that happens, I'm just not going to care because it's not worth my time. It's not worth me focusing all my energy on this one thing that was said about me because not everybody likes everybody. So
yeah.
what are you going to do?
Wait,
Put your head down,
accepting
keep on
that
working.
though, yeah. But accepting that has given you so much freedom. And what a lot of people want to do is focus on changing that or trying to make other people like them or
Yeah. You got to like yourself first.
yeah.
And this is a whole new discovery for me. Like, I didn't like where I was at, how I was living my life. And do I still screw up? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
almost daily. But you just adjust and go forward. That's all you can do. Like, if I say, I'm not going to have a glass of wine tonight, and then I find myself pouring a glass of wine, I say, that's okay. I deserve it. Tomorrow's a new day. I won't have one tomorrow.
Yeah, not guilt tripping yourself. Like, what if I just have the freaking glass of wine?
Yeah. Or that piece of candy. I
Right.
have to treat my inner child.
Mm.
and she likes to drink and eat candy.
Yes. And before she still got to drink and eat candy, but you were like hating her all the way through it.
Yeah. Now I thank her for my curves.
Oh my God, I love it. Yeah. I remember too recently you sent me a text basically saying like, oh my God, it clicked. It's not where I'm at that I'm not liking. It's me that I'm not liking. And
Yeah.
like, that is the most profound realization that anyone could possibly ever have.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I could move anywhere, and I don't get me wrong, I want to move out of Wisconsin. I just always have wanted to live somewhere else, even if it's for a year. Like, I just want to get out and experience new things. I don't even travel that much. Like, whatever. I went to Arizona once. Woohoo. Not that that's a bad state or anything, but it's like, meh, I was in the desert. It was cool. But I totally just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, accepting where I am. And I was making a list of all these cities that I wanted to move to. And it was like, well, I've seen how the gay community treats each other in that city. So I don't want to go to that one because I'll just be made to feel worse about myself. And then I was like, okay, that could happen in any city. And it's happening here right now.
Yeah.
Like, I need to work on loving myself and figuring myself out. And I'll be happy here. And you know what? I am happy here. But it's not, I want to live and see more and do more and try different things. And a lot of stuff I want to do is not in the area that I live. So eventually I'll move on to somewhere else. But right now I am making money. I am putting money in the bank. I'm trying not to spend money, even though I just bought a new car.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Because money, when we first started working together, it was very, you didn't have a love relationship with money.
No, because as soon as I got it, it was gone. And that was just, I wasn't really taking care of my finances. Like, when I was younger, there was a class in high school that taught you how to balance a checkbook and do all this stuff. But by the time I got into high school, that teacher moved away and there was no class anymore. And the only financial advice my parents gave me when we opened my checking account was, if you don't have money in your account, don't write checks. And that was my financial advice. So that's how I've been living for, since I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be 38 in 2 weeks. And I was just like, wow, no money in my bank, and I'm going to be 40 soon. Like, that's pathetic for me. Like, I should have something. So, reworked, actually wrote out a budget, figured out what I could afford for a new vehicle, because in January, I was going home for our family Christmas and my heat went out. And it was like -30 with the wind chill. So my dad let me borrow his car to come back because I couldn't defrost my windows or anything. And it's a 2-hour and 15-minute drive. So my dad let me borrow his vehicle. They got mine fixed up there and went and swapped vehicles again. And the heat worked for, I think, 2 days. And then it went out again. And finally I was just like, I can't. It was so nice not having a car payment for years. I had paid that one off like 5 years ago. But it was a, 16-year-old car. And then something on the frame got all janky, whatever. So I was like, well, it's time. And I have an old coworker who works at a dealership now. And he found me the vehicle I have now. It was the only one I test drove. He was just like, I had 3 lined up. He's like, this is the one. Like, I know you're going to love it. And I did. And when my heat went out the second time, it was the coldest week we had this past winter. And I had to turn my defrosters on. because it was a little bit warmer than the cold outside, but I had snowflakes blowing out of my vents.
What?
Yes, it was insane. So that's when I was just like, I can't, it's been a nice ride with you, car, but I just spent $1,000 fixing you and you're broke 2 days later. No, that's not going to fly.
Yeah.
So I went and got, I mean, it's a used car. It's 2015 Nissan Rogue, but it has everything I want. And it has
Mhm.
heated seats, which was so nice coming out of an old ass car
Mhm.
with no heat to have a nice toasty butt.
Yes. We love some toasty buns.
Yeah. So that was great. And I have money in my savings account. My credit cards are almost paid off, which I paid them off when I was on unemployment last year. And then stupidly told myself, like, oh, I can just charge one or two things and pay it off right away. Did
Uh-huh.
I? Nope. Maxed them out again. And I was like, okay, that's not cute anymore either. Like, Corey, nothing you're doing in your life is cute. You obviously don't know how to live your life and you need to change or you'll be dead. I don't know how I got my dog. He's 14 years old. I don't know how the hell he's still alive, but I did it.
Oh my god.
I don't neglect my dog
Like,
just for like I don't
yeah,
want people to
no.
worry. Like he's very well taken care of and he's very spoiled.
He totally is. I just want to point out, like, it is so amazing that seriously a year ago, um, you felt very insecure about money. You like took a leap. You're like, let's do this. Let's coach. I don't know how it's really gonna work. You had some money, and then it was like very like you were feeling a lot of fear around it still.
Yeah. And can I
And
tell you, I
yeah.
don't even know. I not that obviously coaching was amazing, but I don't know how the hell I thought my ass was going to be able to afford it. And I was just like, nope, let's do it. I didn't work anything out.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, cool.
And now
And it,
look at the result though of having that switch in your brain from like all the other things need to provide for my security to I'm responsible for my security. And then after we stopped working together, you went and had like this transformation with your finances.
yeah, I remember a few times texting you after we were done working, where like I kind of fell back into an old routine of something or an old way of thinking and just, hearing or replaying conversations we've had, you
Yeah.
know, if you tell me something once, I'll remember it forever. And so
Mm-hmm.
if I could put myself in a situation where I was upset, I would just remember what you said the last time I was in that situation and then be like, okay, refocus, refocus, refocus. Let's keep moving.
Yeah.
I'm not dwelling on anything. Um, Sometimes I still have the weird, like, oh, I said this when I was 7 years old. I'm so stupid. And it's like, nobody remembers that but me. So
Yeah.
goodbye, memory. So I just speak it out and let it go.
Yeah. It's really incredible to see where you like the difference in how your life looks on the outside now because it's always a reflection of the inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead.
Well, and that brings me to my next part.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to be single forever. For the record, I still technically am single.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I'm not going to date. And I haven't even been with anybody a year before quarantine started. Didn't even try during quarantine. I don't know many people that did. Well, some of the gay community I know did, but I wasn't going I was going to work and I was coming home. Like that
Mm-hmm.
was it. I'm not trying to get coronavirus, whatever. And so a few weeks ago, I bit the bullet and I downloaded Grinder again, which I'm always like, I'm never gonna do. That's not for me. Um, but I did
Yeah.
and started talking to this nice young man who had just moved here from Madison. And I used to live in Madison, so we had stuff to talk about. And we just, started talking every day, and then we finally hung out, watched Hamilton, went out to dinner. It was a fun time. And then we hung out again and watched the new Lion King. Well, we got to like the middle of it, and yeah, then that was it. And like nothing exciting happened, but
damn it.
I know. I mean, there was some heavy petting, but that was about it.
Oh my god!
But then both of us were just kind of like, no, like this doesn't feel right. And so then I finally asked him, I was like, before this goes any further, like into the bedroom or anything, I want to have a few more like real dates and really get to know each other, because I don't know what it is about him, probably because I haven't dated much or haven't been with anybody in a couple of years, but he's so nice and I really like him. So he agreed that we're going to take it slow. We're going to go out, have dinner, cook dinner, whatever, just hang out and really get to know each other better. So I'm really excited about that, which I never thought I would be.
Oh my god, that's...
And from Grindr, and then I deleted it right away. I was like, nope, don't need to talk to anybody else.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wish I could say it was like, we met on OK Cupid or Farmers Only. I'm
Farmers
kidding.
Only. Or like you're like, oh, I was getting my fresh produce and we just fell in love.
Yes. So, well, no, because then people will be like, well, what's fresh produce a euphemism for?
I don't know, eggplants, peaches, something like that.
I'll never tell.
But like, look at how the difference of, I mean, you already said it before, but I want you to like bring it out again for everyone, of the way that you formed a new relationship with yourself became the relationships that you attracted.
Yeah. Because before, nobody could even stand to be around me, and now I'm a fucking joy to be around.
Yes, you are.
So yeah, it was all, and I knew for years, like, what you put out is what you attract.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this shitty attitude. It was, nobody likes me, nobody wants to be my friend, whatever. And then I'm like, Lindsay's my best friend, and I would feel terrible if I was talking to her and I was like, yeah, I have no friends. Like, that would make her feel super bad. And I pray that I have never said that in front of her, because I'm so used to like talking to my coworkers here and being like, yeah, I have no friends here. But yeah. I guess Lindsay's not friends, she's family. So I guess so. Point. I don't have any friends. I just have family. I'm gonna go cry now.
Oh my god. Well, with that, right, if we want to just point out though that what you did was you created a kinder relationship with yourself. Yes. Instead of being, and you stopped constantly telling this bullshit story of, I have no friends, no one likes me.
Yeah.
Because what the hell did that create? More not friends. No one was popping up like, oh, here I am.
Yeah, but that was back on the thoughts of how like I hated myself so much.
Yeah.
I had no respect for myself. I didn't listen to my inner child. I just suppressed everything and just threw myself into work and tried to forget it. I have my moments where I'll, you know, I obviously get upset by stuff. But I don't let myself sit in it and stew like I used to. It's just, yeah, that happened. I screwed up. My bad. It's okay. Move
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Like the
So
shower
like,
cries we talked about
yes,
that we
and
had.
those don't even happen anymore.
Yeah.
So, which is great. I used to watch sad videos or like real inspiring emotional videos and just cry like a bitch. Um, which was fine because at the time I needed it. I thought that's the way to cope with everything. Um, but now I just watch funny stuff and I laugh, and it's much more enjoyable.
Mm.
Like I'll get the urge like to cry, but I don't have to do it now.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that made me sad, but is it really worth shedding that many tears over? Probably not. Like
Mm.
just me being over dramatic. And like I was talking to my dad not too long ago, and I was talking something about that, and I was like, I don't know why I get so dramatic. And he goes, I like, we know we love you. You're our little drama queen. And at first I was like, I took it as a compliment. And then I was like, wait, was that homophobic? But no, I took it as a compliment.
I love it. Okay, so what are some things that you're telling yourself now? What are some things that you're saying to yourself now?
It's like, I don't have one thing in particular, like any mantra or anything like that. It just,
Yeah.
if a situation comes up, I know how I would have reacted. So I give myself a little bit of time to think about like what's going on and not freak out about it. Like, I was telling one of my coworkers about the guy that I'm hanging out with, and I said last night, I was like, I don't care if like we date for a while or we break up. I don't think I'll be heartbroken by it because normally that would devastate me. But people are in your life to teach you something. So even if at some point he leaves my life, there's something to be learned with our time together. So I think that's a better way of looking at it than um, being upset that the time is over.
Yeah.
But when we stop hanging out, ask me that question again. I'll be crying in the shower.
Episode 3 with Corey comes to you live from its shower.
Yeah. From I'm
that
garbage to
rain.
true self-love to I'm garbage again.
Right.
I'll just turn it around every 6 months and we'll re-record a podcast.
Keep the content coming.
Yeah.
If you're in the shower, does that make you like the hair in the drain?
I'm sorry,
drain
what?
Clog.
Yeah, that's me. I'm that big wad of disgusting hair that it's yours, but you don't even want to touch it. Like it fully came off of you and you're disgusted by it.
Every time.
Yeah. Ew, wet hair. Like you don't wash your hair every day and touch wet hair. But yes. I do have a box of disposable gloves for issues like that because I ain't fucking touching wet hair. Do as I say, not as I do.
Right. We're all thinking it.
I'm gonna teach you how to live.
I love it. Okay, but for real, if you're not having that thought like before of like, oh, I'm garbage, if that's not a reoccurring thought for you, what is there a reoccurring thought for you?
And no, just those stupid, I think they're called invasive or intrusive thoughts.
Yeah.
Where like, a memory will pop up from what I did in high school or what I said at work 2 years ago or, just something stupid. And normally
What has I'm garbage been replaced by?
I'm wonderful. There's nothing garbage about me. Like, yeah, I was making bad decisions. Yeah, I wasn't in the best spot in my life due to my own decision making skills that I did not have. They should have a class on that in like elementary school, how to make
Mm-hmm.
decisions without screwing up your life. Um, but it's all, it's all positive thinking now. I try not to let myself ever feel like I'm garbage. And I think the
Mm-hmm.
true testament to that was when I talked to my boss and was like, I'm sick of you talking behind my back, not just about work things, but he talked about my personal life, which years ago, the first time I heard all of them talking about me and making fun of me behind my back, I blocked everybody on social media. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
talk about my outside life. Like I'll say a few things like, I watched this movie last night or whatever, but they don't know what I do outside of work besides the little bits that I give them. Um, so he still has, no idea what my life is. And when I told him I was sick of him talking about my personal life, he goes, well, your personal life is none of my business. And I said, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what I'm doing. You don't, um,
Mm-hmm.
so just me taking a stand for myself, like that really boosted my confidence. Like, oh, I can do this. I can stand up for myself, even if nobody else will.
Yes. Hashtag have your own back.
Yeah. Hashtag stupid bosses.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Fitness. Tell us about your fitness because that's been new for you too.
Yeah. So this fitness guy that I follow, he had a huge sale on his program, a 12-week program. So I downloaded it and I started it. And then I had my second vaccination shot and I ended up getting some of the symptoms for a few days after. So I didn't feel good. And the part of the point of my doctor's appointment today, I wanted to get a physical just to make sure when I really go hard at it that I don't drop dead.
That's
Um,
a good thing to make sure.
yeah. So, went in for that and I have a sinus infection. Um, and I had told her for years, like I can't breathe right out of my nose. Like it's not, my sinuses are always having issues. So I think she must have thought I said for the past year I'm having sinus issues because they put me in a room by myself away from other patients and then gave me a COVID test and antibiotics. So I didn't get my physical today. I have to go back in 2 weeks um, to get that done. But I'm still going to do some of the stuff that I can. My eating
Mm-hmm.
habits have gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't let myself, order takeout or delivery or anything. Whereas before it was like cooking all day, come home, I don't want to cook, I'll order a pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Like just again, poor decision making skills. It's
Yeah.
how my world works.
Mm-hmm.
So just taking ownership of all the little things that I've done and being better. So instead of coming home and ordering pizza, I'll make a salad at work and eat it at home.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Love that.
I have access to so much food.
Right. You literally live in food all day.
Yes.
Ah, that's fantastic. And because that was something that we were talking about. Well, actually, when we originally talked way back when, right, I was still doing fitness coaching. Yeah. So it's so good to see you implementing these things now and that it's just coming naturally. They're
Yeah.
just coming to you. Yeah. Mm.
You were my, dare I say it, Alex ray of light. I'm sorry.
I mean, we wouldn't have a Corey podcast if we didn't get something cheesy, right?
Right.
Come
Yeah.
on. We need
That's me in a nutshell.
I feel like the last episode we filled with so many cheesy lines that everyone's missing out.
Yeah, there were
Okay,
the
honey.
pom poms and um, move on gay moments, our super gay voices.
Yes, queen.
Oh, the other day at work, one of the straight boys did something, and I said, "Yes, Queen, slay it," and he was like, "What?" It's like, "Good job."
He's like, what do all of those words mean combined? I don't
Yeah,
understand.
yeah.
Does not compute. Oh my god. Hilarious. We do have our own language sometimes, for sure.
Yes, absolutely. And
So,
I go back, so I watch um Trixie and Katya on YouTube all the time. Like those are
yeah.
most of the videos I watch. Like they're and I like to watch their makeup tutorials, even though I'm not into makeup. It's just funny to watch. Trixie baking in easy bake ovens, those are hilarious. But there was one episode where they were talking about they watched AJ and the Queen on Netflix, and
Good show.
RuPaul.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I did too, and I'm kind of sad that it didn't get renewed for a second season. But when RuPaul was performing in Jane Krakowski's living room, and they were discussing how they hate that, and they're like, "Yeah, the one that hired you is excited that you're there, but nobody else cares about drag queens, and nobody wants you to be there." And I am so pissed because I am forgetting where I'm going with this. Oh no, they were talking about, they don't want to, like, straight people don't want a drag queen to sit down and be like, "Oh, where are you from?" And Trixie said something like, "Yeah, you can sit down and just be like, slay bitch, boppity boop boop boop, whatever." Like they don't want you to have a conversation. Just say gay stuff and they'll love you. So I've been implementing that, and I, in fact, can tell you that not all straight people like that.
Oh, okay.
And having their own language. She's like, "Yeah, if straight people hear, 'I love your axe wound, you whore,'" I was like, it doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't have to.
Right. They're like, yeah. We're like, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Whatever. They could like get up on stage and pass gas, and everyone be like, "Oh my god, so good, so good. She's an icon."
Yes, an icon. An icon. Here's my money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Sir, we have gotten the full life update of Corey Spade in 2021. Is there
And
any?
hopefully it continues on.
Yeah, it has to. Like, it will, just because this is your new way of being.
Yeah. I definitely don't want to go back to where I was. I love and appreciate that Corey, but I think he's gone now.
Yeah. You know, one word of encouragement for you on that, and for everyone who finds themselves in any kind of like life progress, right, where you're in a different place now than you were last month, a year ago, whatever. It is human tendency to worry about I might slip back into that. And I want to give you the reminder, it's like the Matrix. Like, once you take the pill, there's no going back. Yeah, you're not, like, life is not flowers and daisies, and those are the same thing, and butterflies and rainbows all the time.
It's drag queens farting on a stage. Sometimes it be like that.
Sometimes it be like that. Drag queens farting on the stage. Sometimes it's rainbows and butterflies. Sometimes it's hair in the bathtub drain.
Yes.
But once you have taken that red pill, you cannot go back. You do see life in a totally different way. Life is different. Your mind is different. And yeah, while crappy circumstances might come up, it's impossible for you to backslide into becoming the person that you were before. Like you just keep becoming, thank you, Michelle Obama. You just keep becoming more and more and more you. The
Yeah.
old things were layers of crappy programming from society, and the blinders are lifted. There you go. End of my TED Talk.
Yeah. And even if you find yourself in a shitty situation, you kind of have to examine it. Did my actions put me here?
Yeah.
Because then that's another way to stand up for yourself and be like, yes, this was my fault. I take full responsibility. This is a learning moment. It's not, gonna kill me like it would have before. Like, I'm not gonna worry about it like I would before. It's just small. Like, I didn't even do anything huge. It was just small steps every day of things I wanted to change. Like, I could change so much more. But I'm so tired now. So I have more time to work on myself, but where I'm at right now is just peaches.
I love it. Peach emoji, peach emoji, peach emoji.
Eggplant, water squirt. I'm sure most people get it.
I hope so. They can figure it out. All right. If there's one last piece of advice that you want to leave our listeners with today, what would that be?
Just to love yourself and show up for yourself. Because all you have is you. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have you, you got nothing.
True words, my friend. This has been a fabulous conversation today. Thank you so much for taking your time to come back on the podcast and share. I really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, and I appreciate you, friend.
I love you.
I love you, Rebecca.
Whatever, Janie. Love you too. Kisses. All right, my friend. Let's sign off and say goodbye to everyone.
All right. Hope
Bye,
everybody
everyone.
enjoyed listening me brag about how great life is. Very different story from my last time.
And with that, we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye-bye.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend so they too can become more confident. You can also help more people find the show by leaving a 5-star review wherever you listen. And if you want to become a more confident queer with support from yours truly, head to coachalexray.com or use the link down in the show notes. I'm looking forward to working with you.